Yeah. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. But you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
I am Fel, and I am joined by Jim. Jim, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Excited for this matchup. This matchup is actually going to be for Touching Grass trying to get their first win of the season, and Rivals Gold trying to bounce back after having a win week one in their first series, and then dropping the next two last week to AG Mojo Jojo in two games that they were leading for about the first 3 quarters of the game, and then letting it go. As a team, how do you bounce back from that the next week?
Um, it's a lot of preparation in that kind of loss aspect where you just kind of grind out games and try to get that mental reset going and reviewing those mistakes that you kind of made previously and seeing how you can even work your way back if you happen to have them again. But we're already through the first phase of the bands: the Shen, the Braum, the Zyra band by Touching Grass, and Silas, Mundo, and Jinx banned by Rivals. So we see the Ziggs first pick, which is a very interesting first pick, countered by the Misfortune.
Yeah, Ziggs has been popular in this IBSG series, and Rivals Gold got beat by the Misfortune, giving it away to AG Mojo Jojo last week. Looking like Husky's going to try to take something away from that and use it on himself, piloting along with this Wukong, who does give guaranteed knockup and a little bit of appeal for her to be able to get a good ult placement in, as we see the Maokai coming in for Touching Grass. So far, a lot of AP. It's going to be interesting to see. Do they go with like a Nami support for the Ziggs? More than likely, we're going to see that down in the bot lane. We do know that her passive now helps slow with any abilities hit, including uh, auto attacks and all of his bombs that he's going to be throwing out. That's a odd pick. And then the Cho'Gath coming out for Rivals Gold look like they're going to be going for knockups and tankiness over here to kind of counter uh, what Touching Grass is trying to do.
I don't know how I feel about these drafts right now because it kind of seems like Touching Grass has an idea of what comp they want to play that works good into Rivals. Well, Rivals kind of has like a kind of weak engage where it's gonna be up to that Wukong kind of sneaking in with that W invisibility to get into the team, while there's just showing a ton of range and disengage for Touching Grass, saying, "Hey, we're gonna stay about 5 screens away from you," as Ziggs just sieges on this turret right now.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to be giving a lot of agency to the push, and if there's a Baron, that's going to be really, really bad for the side of Rivals Gold. As we see the second round of bans coming in, we have the Gwen and the Azir banned away from Touching Grass. Beeson known for his Azir, and then on Touching Grass's side, the Ari and the Veigar banned out. So they're thinking this Cho'Gath is going top, as we see the Nautilus coming in to pair most likely with this Misfortune. I don't see a Wukong top, and Cho'Gath mid, and Nautilus jungle, although we've seen Nautilus come out into the jungle a couple times. And Lucifer opting in for the Blind Cassante, potentially over on the top lane. We saw him pop off on that yesterday in Touching Grass's first game win of the season. Even though they ended up losing the series, he was very, very strong on that. And the Yone coming in for B-Sid over in the mid lane. Um, into an Aurora. We saw the Aurora Yone matchup 2 weeks ago, actually, as Rivals Gold picked the Yone into an Aurora and just got completely demolished. So that is going to be a Cho'Gath top, Aurora in the mid lane. It's going to be interesting to see Razors pilot this after getting his butt kicked on the Yone the last time. So, how are you feeling about these drafts, and what do you think is going to be the outcome of the first game?
Um, there's a lot that Touching Grass can do with theirs. They do have a decent amount of engage. They can use both Nami and Maokai for disengage or the engage, as well as the Yone ult. Kasante is going to be looking for somebody to all out as well, possibly get into that backline using one of the heavies or isolate a tank out of the fight. Um, but I think overall top lane, it should be in favor of the Kasante early, because he does like just kind of bullying down those tanks. Um, well, bot lane,
Okay.
I do like the premise for Miss Fortune and the Nautilus having that ability to go aggressive early on, possibly catch out Nami if she's not being respectful, as we do see the side of Rivals
Rivals is looking
moving
for
down.
early level 1 invade. Yeah, this should be
uh,
interesting. So how do we see this playing out here by the end of the game? What's your call on this?
I
Oh, never
think that
mind.
there's
Real quick, we see Hamilcar
oh,
getting flashed on by the Nautilus. Nautilus does not throw out the hook quick enough, and Hamilcar getting away on the Ziggs, and just not pressing that fast enough on the Nautilus hook for Sauce. So kind of a misplay, a missed opportunity to maybe get a kill off of that. But free vision coming in onto the top side for touching grass as it now the failed invade comes through.
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's failed. It's going to come down to the Wukong in the end, trying to get in to this bot lane and making that level 1 invade be worth something. Because the flash is down on Ziggs, which will make him vulnerable. This is the first Ziggs in a while as well that I've seen. I don't know if this was a mistake or not, but he's running barrier rather than the usual teleport of a Ziggs APC. Um, but Ziggs could potentially get bullied out of here if a couple of these Nautilus hooks land and Miss Fortune lands on some of this heavy poke. Ziggs, who's used to playing safe, might be in trouble trying to get as much as possible while being down already.
As we see the level 2 coming in, but it pans away as Nautilus does land the hook. Sauce with the exhaust onto Rubik's McCubix, but just a little bit too far ahead of his Miss Fortune as gets a lot of damage down, but the heal comes through from Nami and the exhaust burned on the Nautilus. As you were saying, that quick, hard poke that can just come out so quickly from the side of Rivals Gold bot lane, showing already early as Ziggs has to play really far back.
Yeah. It did seem like a little bit of a disconnect there between Husky and Sauce as the
Another hook
Gage
comes
did
down.
go and there's some damage done, but then the Miss Fortune kind of just turned back to start farming. I think they could have tried to get the damage chunk down a bit further, force out some of those and all of the heal potions coming through, or a huge chunk in the mana.
Yeah, as we see, the mana bars on Ziggs are the one that's off, and Rubik's McCubix is actually kind of holding on to his mana bar pretty well considering. It does look like Sauce just wants to be super aggressive here, but we do see the Maokai is down on the bot lane quicker than the Wukong, so we might be seeing a 3v2 potentially coming in if this Nautilus lands a hook 2 at a bad time. Is Beeson getting just chunked under his turret by this Aurora? We've seen this happen the last couple of times. Double ups are hitting for Husky on this Miss Fortune. Just standard laning though, just low health bars, but no kills just yet. As we see, the tempo is starting to ramp up a little bit over in this bot lane, and that's where most of the camera action is going. But we do see the Wukong going over to the top side. Maokai looks like he's just going to take his full clear in the scuttle and then get base back. Where are you going if you're this Maokai on your next thing? Oh, yeah.
If I'm being honest, the Maokai, I was very surprised didn't try to force anything mid to as the Aurora's at low mana. Yone is one of those champions that doesn't necessarily need the mana bar, but we're getting that gank top
Yeah, we're
side.
getting the gank top side of it. Yeah, the Lucifer is trying to get out on this Cassante, but that is just going to be too many knockups that he ate prior to the Wukong even showing up. And yeah, flash out for flash, and Cho'Gath getting his first kill of the game into this Cassante. We're seeing a different Lucifer than yesterday. So Hamilcar does get himself to safety using his little trap, but super low on mana. This is going to be really, really hard with the amount of pressure that they have with no teleport, as you were saying before, it looks like it might actually be biting him in the butt here, as he's going to try to last hit under the turret until he can get some sort of mana back.
No, this is where this Ziggs is going to kind of struggle a lot here with this pressure. Not having that teleport, couldn't easily just get 400 gold and potentially back just to start building a tier, or even just recharging and getting an amplifying tome, um, which is going to limit his CSing capabilities because it's not going to be as easy as this Misfortune. With the Nautilus also playing this aggressive, we're seeing almost a 11 CS lead for that Misfortune in the bot lane.
Yeah, and if this keeps going this way, it's just going to get worse. There's no pressure coming from the Maokai to try to stop this. And as we see Aurora hitting 6 and Beeson and Razors are trading back and forth here in the mid lane as the Maokai does come in. Hamilcar with the flash and the knockup over. Maokai is going to get in onto the Misfortune here, but there's just not enough mana on the side of Hamilcar. The flash has come out, and now Nicholas on this Wukong is trying to do the counter engage, but they're going to be smart about it and pull up as the health bars get super low. Good gank from the Maokai. I know you don't get any kills out of it, but it still feels pretty good when you're able to give your bot lane some breathing room.
Do gotta say, what I didn't expect here is this CS lead for this Yone in that mid lane. I was kind of expecting the Aurora to use that range advantage to bully a bit more, but I think has been too focused on trying to poke the Yone down, which isn't going to work as well anymore with the Vampiric Scepter already picked up, and has been missing some of those minions.
Yeah, a lot of last hit thing, and we saw this a lot yesterday in both of the games for Touching Grass, where Lucifer actually was just constantly pushing in on his Ambessa game, and Halfling and I noted that he's spending so much time, and I guess this is just what happens: is sometimes you just spend so much time trying to push the wave and keep the tempo that you miss the last hits. As Aurora is getting the poke in now, Beast in looking for the counter here, and then Aurora with the ult coming in. Does with the fancy footwork, and Sauce coming in on the Nautilus, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the hook off onto this Yone. So Nicholas with some, he does have level 6 advantage over this Maokai, but now we see Lucifer coming in, and then it is now Aurora coming in, ultless, but Nicholas does get the knock up onto the Maokai, and Razors for Life does get the kill over on this Aurora. So a 1-0 for the Aurora, and now Rivals Gold 2 kills to nothing in favor here. They're 1 kill away from the boots, and they have the grubs that just spawned. They should be transitioning over to this now, also stealing away this jungle camp over from Unreportably on this Maokai. He is now just going to be stuck at level 5, unable to answer on the grubs here.
I think they're fortunate caster curse up there in the top lane as the K'Sante actually ended.
Gets the bullet time onto Hamilcar, and he is just dead. A solo kill for the Misfortune. Sorry to cut you off, but the action does not want to let you go. The bullet time gets the barrier out of Hamilcar on the Ziggs. Just a little bit of a misplay. His W actually knocked Misfortune into a more advantageous spot, and Husky on this Misfortune makes him pay with his life.
But what I was trying to say was the K'Sante did try to go all out there and drag somebody into that turret, but wasn't close enough or either misclicked there.
Yeah, as we see another team fight coming in. Husky with another kill on this Misfortune, and now Rubik's McCubic's on the Nami, locked down by Sauce on the Nautilus, and he does flash over into the red. Has a chance to get away. Razors for Life flashes the wrong way, eats a Nami bubble for his troubles, and Nami getting away. Rubik's with a wonderful play, faking out this Aurora and the entire team on Rivals Gold. So sometimes that's the little win that you just kind of need after giving away another kill. It's 4-0 for Rivals. Lucifer on the top lane is getting a little bit of pressure on these turrets as Decipher had the back on the Cho'Gath. does get a plating out to try to sort of make up for the fact that he did give a kill earlier. Um, if you're if your rivals right now just keeping this pressure, they already have a 2.5K gold lead. Um, what do you want to see from them to just sort of keep this tempo going?
They need to keep, especially this Wukong needs to keep his foot on the pedal and get the gas going. For this team, there's a lot stronger early spikes for the side of RG. The Miss Fortune's gonna spike fairly strong early on, as well as the Wukong will just kind of fall off. Cho'Gath will scale into that super tank that they want to be, as well as the Aurora kind of scales a little bit, but mainly just has that kind of early burst damage. Later on, can try to like one shot a squishy, but I don't know if she's going to be able to one shot somebody like the.
As you see the pressure that you were just talking about trying to go in, and also another con that you were talking about earlier is the disengage. And then now Lucifer and Decipher fighting in the top lane, and the ult comes out from Lucifer and does get the kill onto Cho'Gath, as the aggression on the bot lane amounts to nothing with the Maokai ult being able to disengage the entire team from Rivals Gold. At the same time, Lucifer making his own play on the top side. So that's like giving up your lead right as you just got it uh, over for the side of Rivals Gold. And we've seen them do this time and time again, have the leads and play really smart and then just give it away, as now it looks like they're trying to turn on to the mid lane, but they're just going to fight over a ward. So it should be another plate over, or it should be at least one, if not two plates for the side of Rivals. And you look at Miss Fortune, level 9 to level 7 Ziggs. He will throw out his ult to clear the wave and try to stop them from getting this plate. But good plays on the side of Touching Grass to just sort of negate the lead that Rivals Gold had.
And this bot lane looks really rough right now. There's that 30 CS deficit that we're seeing right now between the Ziggs and the Miss Fortune, but there's another 30 gold on top of that for those 2 kills that Miss Fortune's sitting on. She's gonna back and likely get that Bloodthirster already built, as we see it built now, and just be at a full item already, while Ziggs is still sitting on components.
Yeah, and we see Beeson trying to fight Razors, and now we're starting to see the Nucleus coming up to the top to try to help out Decipher on this Cho'Gath. One thing that we have noted and that we have seen a lot, I think I've streamed all of Touching Grass's series, is when Lucifer is pressured by the jungle, he does not do well, and they have left him be, and as they've let him be after that first gank, he gets a solo kill. So now looks like Nucleus is starting to notice that and try to be more present on the map, as you were saying earlier.
Did notice that, yeah, this Nautilus Sauce has been playing a bit more roam heavy focus for the side of RG. Normally, that's something that you see for the Ziggs team.
Up and having to tell to flash away, does drop the barrier. Ziggs coming in hard. We do see Unreportable Lee trying to come in and make it a 3v1, and Husky 2v1 gets a kill and trades his own life for it. But that was all of them, and now Sauce and Nucleus hovering around, but aren't going to be able to get anything out of it. Well played by the Husky, and that's just what happens. Is Lucifer trying to fight this Cho'Gath in the top lane as the Pit of Spikes comes up, but does not get him. Razors for life, and BCN scrapping in the middle. This game is just scrap after scrap as the ult comes out from the Yone, but just misses. That was so close to both of them dying, but just nothing coming out. Just scrap after scrap on this game, and with the amount of fighting, I'm actually surprised that it's only 5-2.
And thanks to production, we do get to see that what that gold deficit is in that bot lane. It's even with that bounty going over to the Ziggs, it is still about 1,000 gold over for the Miss Fortune, and that's gonna show up. And we saw it just in that last fight where she was able to take out the Nami before even going down. But this K'Sante does need to be careful Um, the Cho'Gath does have his ultimate. If they don't play it right, could end up getting feasted.
As we see Ravels Gold deciding to take the second dragon of the game. This is going to give them the second feat, and they're going to have the boots for this game, as now it looks like they're trying to transition into the bot lane. As Sauce coming in with the hook, Nami flashes right out. The bullet time is canceled as soon as it started. Nami ult coming out to disengage what was already canceled. Bison chasing around Razors for Life inside of his own jungle. She is on the wrong side of the map here as Nicholas is trying to come in and give her some support to get her out of there, but super close from both Rivals and TG. Good job on both of those sides to just sort of disengage what was a bad fight. Nami with the perfect flash to get just outside of the Nautilus hook as Hamilcar is trying to come in onto the Husky here, and he does drop the Ziggs ult, no flash, and Husky is going to go down. That is the play that you want. You finally get her to where she is just overstepped one too many times as Nicholas is coming in over to the mid lane, and he is going to drop onto the Beast in, double ult coming down. Yone trying to ult out, but not in time. Razors and Nicholas just working so well together to take down this Yone as he's just a little bit too far away from his turret and in the danger zone as Sauce just going to try to cull the wave as Ziggs and Nami just putting so much pressure on this turret.
And we're now seeing just essentially the deficit that starting to claw back. I think it's mainly due to the hyper roaming from this Nautilus. It's leveled down from the Nami itself, but it's the boots rush that kind of makes it so they're just squishy in any of these fights. We'll let them get around, but it has kind of allowed the Ziggs to come back into this game with the help of the Nami, just forcing out a 1v2 lane, and with those two deaths, able to claw back within the CS range, as well as get some turret plates onto the Ziggs.
Yeah, as we see, that's like one of those things like, hey, I'm up 2-0. They can't kill me 3v1 without taking somebody else out. And you go, and now ult traded into the mid lane, and Bison is getting the better of this trade here as Razors for Life has to invisible away. Little bit of a misplay there, and Sauce, as you were saying, is just not super tanky. And, when you're a roaming support, and your ADC is full ahead in every which way, and you're just like, well, now we just gave that thing away, and we didn't get much on the other side as Lucifer is going to ult over onto the Cypher, but Nicholas is starting a fight on top of this Maokai, unreportedly trying to just W over and get away from it as the second part of the ult comes out, and now it looks like they're going to go for the re-engage here as the Maokai ult comes out, and Bison trying to chase down Nami, dropping the tidal wave over onto it. Sauce trying to disengage Hamilcar from the rest of the fight, and the bullet time is going to come out and just shred the Maokai, and Nicholas gets the kill in the last second as the Ziggs ult comes out, just not enough to get it, and it looked like they got what they wanted, but then it was just too much. Nicholas just pulling the trigger without his misfortune there, and unfortunately pays the ultimate price for that, and now Rivals Gold is the one that is in the driver's seat again. Or Touching Grass is in the driver's seat again, my bad.
That fight, it was something in which
you see the Malignance doing its work here. Bison just not accounting for the fact that Aurora's ult is on such a low cooldown. That is a 202 mid laner now. Yeah, that's a rough day for Yone at the office right now. He was doing really well, but it's just starting to catch up to him. Lucifer, again, we're going to see another scrap over here. Now he's caught out by Sauce. Decipher just comes over, chomps down, gets the free ult HP, and now Nicholas and Sauce are going to be moving over to this Rift Herald. This is going to be 4 objectives to nothing on the side of Rivals Gold. Every time that Touching Grass is getting something back, it just seems like they're giving something else up. As we see Aurora is starting to come down. Go ahead.
I don't really know what the Ziggs is doing, but he might
be a genius. What's coming out? Yeah, Aurora taking the long way around might have been her own fault there for that one. As we see the turret goes out, Bison barely getting away from the Nautilus hook there. That was almost another dead Yone. Maokai picks up the shutdown kill on the Aurora. They trade the bot tier 1 for the mid tier 1. Wukong taking Shelly for a ride. He's coming over. He's going to try to knock him up, and he's going to try to start this engage. Hamilcar with the fancy footwork getting away, and now it is your tank on the front line and all of your damage on the backside here as Nicholas is trying to go in. Cho'Gath has shown up from his teleport onto the bot side of this river, and now they're going to try to fight this and get this dragon prio before it spawns, and they've done just that. Rivals Gold got just enough out of touching grass that they may not be able to contest this, but they are going to try.
No, this is definitely one of those things that the Ziggs needs to be putting in as much work as possible, throwing out these bombs. If he's got all, I would throw it now directly onto the Drake and where all those melee carries are going, but it's too late as it.
The Smite ult comes in, and then B-Sin getting his ult on into the backline there. Nicholas trying to do what he can to knock everybody up, but now touching grass is on the offensive. Husky is caught up by Lucifer on the bot side as B-Sin is killing the Cho'Gath up top. And this is just everything going wrong on the side of Rivals Gold. Touching grass is now touching their first taste of victory in this first match, and they are poised to strike as Aurora is going to be getting the top tier 1, but she's going to be trading it for 4 deaths and an Otacon. Not good placement, just getting caught out a little bit too much.
No, they didn't have enough setup really to deal with the just ranged poke that I was trying to bring up from this Ziggs, being able to throw the bombs over the wall. I think the ult was a little bit too late, but still hit quite a bit of people, which allowed them to follow up with those fights. The K'Sante flank as well, being big in that fight, getting onto those that misfortune and that Nautilus.
Yeah, just basically taking her completely out of the fight and not being able to do any return damage, as you were saying. Lucifer on this K'Sante looked very comfortable on it yesterday, played it really well, and then went away from it. So we'll see if for game 2, if he's going to pull that back out again, as now we're seeing Rivals Gold just trying to get the tempo and the waves pushed back, trying to farm up, slow the game down a little bit, and look for maybe a pick or a strong front-to-back team fight this time. And yeah, the Ziggs ult coming out late there, but it is really hard to try to time up against the Cho'Gath ult and a Smite at the same time. As Lucifer pushing in the waves here. It does look like we're going to not see some action, but with the way this one has been going, it has just been super scrappy.
Yeah, definitely super scrappy. I didn't even notice it, but prior to that fight, there wasn't really any defensive stats for the Cho'Gath. Rush to the Heartsteel, which is at 66 points, so it's just mainly the health that helps them out, but they're not going to have any type of MR unless it's built in the runes.
Yeah, and Nicholas is spotted on this ward, but they don't pull the trigger quick enough. He does get away with the Raptors. Little cheeky move there. We've seen a couple times now when somebody's sitting on a ward, everybody just comes to him. He's like, oh man, I guess that was warded. But yeah, it does get away with the Raptors, steals that away. And yeah, the Waves just sort of pushing. The next objective is going to end up being the Dragon in 2 minutes. So both teams probably going to be trying to set something up as Sauce is trying to go in on. He lands the hook, and now the ult comes out from Razors for Life on this Aurora. Husky trying to get in, but a great disengage from the Nami ult to stem the bully time. He does get it off, but it's not enough to take out Nami. Just a little bit of wiggle room, and Nami gets out by the skin of her teeth on that one. Good hook from Sauce, though. Great engage and decent follow-up. Just great disengage from Nami on this tidal wave. As we see now that it seems like both teams don't really know what they want to do here. If they want to try to start a fight, if they want to just press, as Rivals Gold does go for the three-person reset here. Looks like Ziggs is going to be resetting as well. Cho'Gath's just slowly stacking away here. The CS is sort of even, and we've now gotten from a 2.5k gold deficit on the side of Touching Grass to basically even. As Unreportable Lee is going to try to get up, but the Pit of Spikes comes up and he does have to flash away. That's a free flash. Good play by Nicholas and Decipher to get that out of the Maokai. He does still have his ult, so if they want to engage or disengage the next fight, he'll still have that up. But good play on the side of Rivals Gold to just get a nice small advantage and then not overcommit to it, as we've seen them do a ton in their latest series. Is he's going to flash over onto Hamilcar and the Ziggs. He is going to try to W away. We do see the Maokai ult that we were just talking about get out, and now Husky is trying to get it down in just a lot of low health bars as Lucifer is coming in on this K'Sante. He's smelling blood. He wants to go after Husky. He does ult the Nautilus to try to get in close, as now the fight is starting to come out on 3 different lines. Nicholas into the back line here is Unreportable Lee is going to get on top of him here. He almost gets the Ziggs, but he dies. A little bit of an overplay on their side here, and now Lucifer tying up Decipher, but Razors for Life is sneaking around on the edge, coming in from unwarded, and he's about to go on to this Ziggs as he does flash an ult over as B Sin gets into the back and takes out Husky, but he barely gets out. Razors for Life had used too much on the Ziggs to be able to get that kill a second time, and now they're just sort of trying to scrap away before the start of this dragon as Decipher flashes forward on this Cho'Gath for basically nothing. Does get the Pit of Spikes onto the B-Sin, but no follow-up there as Lucifer is just playing defensive line or offensive line for his mid laner here. Both teams are getting their death timers reset, as we just saw the feast thing tooltip there. 6 total, 3 on minions. So he does still have 3 to play with on the minions if he needs to, but he's been doing a pretty good job of getting the epic monsters and the champs here.
No, and I think it was kind of the wrong call for the side of Touching Grass to try to rotate over towards that Drake, maybe get the vision out, but now we're seeing
and now we're split up, and Lucifer caught out on this. K'Sante is going to do what he can, as we see a couple ults coming out. Razors for Life almost dies to the Ziggs ult, and now Touching Grass, even though it's 4v5, they're full on health bars, and Rivals Gold needs to make sure that they're not stepping up too close, as we see Husky getting a little close on this MF as they're going to try to maybe sit around. I know that Decipher does have his ult on his Cho'Gath, and now they're going to try to set something up. The bullet time is available for the Misfortune as the TP's coming in from Razors for Life. He is going to try to flank over on this top side of the river here as B-Sin a little close. He's going to ult into the back line. He's going to stop them from coming over. He can't get into position, but Decipher on the Cho'Gath does get his ult, steals it away from the Maokai as Yone and Nami pick up 2 kills on the Aurora and the MF. Yone getting another one onto this Aurora. They lose the dragon. They get the 4. Nicholas has to lick his wounds over in the jungle, and it looks like Touching Grass. You see the pings coming out after they take down the mid lane. They are going for this Baron. Baron going to be started up. Nicholas is waiting in the wings. There is no vision on this. B-Sin looking over for the Wukong. Is going to hit this blast plant to get over. The only way he's going to be able to get in is with his vision ward, and he's going to try to W in and maybe stealth in here. They're going to take the ward out. He does have the Scryer's Orb sitting next to him, so we will be able to see. This is going to be a 50-50 potentially. The Maokai ult does come out. B-Sin does have it. They see him, and he dies just like that. And this is going to be the Baron for the side of Touching Grass. A huge swing. That was a 7k swing in gold. They were down by 1,000. They are up by 6k almost now, or 5k, so 6 in total. Huge momentum swing for the side of Touching Grass, and they are looking like they are playing their comp almost to perfection.
And it's one of those things that even the front line for Rivals Gold, they don't really have anything to deal with this Ziggs poke. So getting into these like setups where they're gonna be standing around, it likely in vision, where Ziggs is just gonna be able to throw out bombs and create a mini game of dodgeball while you're trying to take some of these objectives.
We see the level 17 Yon coming in onto Decipher on this Cho'Gath. He's backing in the middle of the lane, and he's going to pay for that hubris as B Sin is just going to take him down. B Sin, a problem on this Yon, showing that he can play other champions. Ban is Azir, and he's going to make you pay with the Yon. Well played over on the side of Touching Grass. They're just getting every advantage that they can. Is Maokai in the jungle by himself? Rubik's Cube is going to have to throw the tidal wave out just to get him out. And now that's the Maokai ult down as well. A little bit of an overstep. And now Razors for Life trying to make him pay, but Hamilcar flashing out as Nicholas on the Wukong goes in, knocking everybody up, and now it is just a free-for-all onto the backline of Touching Grass. They're giving this one away, but B Sin over on this Yon is flanking as Lucifer teleports in. Unreportable just trying to buy as much time as he can for Lucifer to get in there as he's going on to Razors for Life along with B Sin. She hops over the wall, and there's going to be nothing that they can get out of that after. Unreportable on this Maokai just stepping a little bit too much, and his entire team is going to have to pay the price for that.
It started off as a fight that kind of didn't go the way of Rivals Gold. The Wukong getting stopped from going over the wall.
Now we see Lucifer caught out a little bit too much as well. These guys are just going nonstop. Lucifer is going to ult, try to get away. It looks like he might be able to, but Sauce on this Nautilus has been almost perfect on these hooks as Nicholas gets in, gets the smite, slows him down. Sauce with the Nautilus, and he's going to ult over onto the Yon here. B Sin is going to be 1v4. He's going to ult out, but Nicholas getting in his way. The Ziggs ult is going to come through, but that damage is not going to be enough. Touching Grass, they'll get rid of all of their Baron buffs by just misplay after misplay and overstepping. Like, the communication just died.
No, and this is one of the things that Touching Grass does need to keep an eye on. They
are going to try to make away with this, and the Maokai ult barely hits onto Husky on this MF, and now it's just overstepped. They're just paying it forward. Touching Grass gives them one. They take one back, and now Nicholas in here. They are trying to get this. The knockup is going to come down, and Rubik's Cubics is going to die to the Aurora there. They get the Husky, but then they pay with two of their own carries and the support going down. Non-stop fighting. It is 19-19, 32 minutes in. This game has just been absolutely bonkers.
And I think the team fight wins that were going in the favor of Touching Grass has kind of gotten to their heads. They've been making odd plays, not respecting the fact that they didn't get the boots upgrades and they gave over Cloud Soul. So this is going to be a significantly faster to respond Rivals Gold team where they'll be able to move them across the map just based off of their speed on a lot of these champions. Even like Miss Fortune with her W passive up will be able to outpace almost everybody on the side of Touching Grass. So it's making these mistakes of trying to clear vision alone, trying to respond and take a 2v4. And Yon has been doing well, it's been scaling into this game, level 18, but you can't necessarily take a 2v4 that it almost immediately turns into a 1v4 when you get there.
All right, and now we see them all grouped up as 5. They're getting what they want out of this. They're getting a little bit of deep vision with the Maokai saplings coming through. B Sin looking around, trying to zone out the side of Rivals Gold, but they do have a Cho'Gath. They do have Wukong Smite to go up against. Unreportable Lee has already gotten one dragon stolen. As they start up the Elder, the Loot Pinata is going to start going down here quickly as they're trying to just keep Rivals Gold away. Lucifer is going to go in onto the Cho'Gath. The Pit of Spikes is going to miss, and now we see the Maokai and the Nami ult coming in. They're wasting everything to try to get this Cho'Gath down as Aurora comes in on the flank, and they just are too set up, but B Sin getting all the damage down, but now Husky is going to be cleaning up here. The bullet time hit 4 members of Touching Grasp, almost the entire ult, as now the ace comes out and Husky and Nicholas are going to go over for this Elder Dragon while the rest of the team are going down the mid lane. That is a ace for one and an Elder Dragon, and this could be the turning point again. Now this time for Rivals Gold as they take the lead away from Touching Grass, 2K up with an Elder, with mid lane going down the tier 2, and Baron is on their sights. They're resetting now to try to get over there as quick as they can.
And Touching Grass had the idea there. They said, hey, we can't let Cho'Gath outsmite us with this ultimate that he's going to walk in, which is likely over 1,300 true damage right now onto these neutral objectives. So they had the idea down. They needed to get him down, but he wasn't chunked enough from this Ziggs before trying to go in. So once they full committed onto the big tanky monster, they just got womboed down by the Misfortune and the Aurora ult that just massacred essentially 4 members.
Yeah, and when you use your 2 huge ults in the Nami tidal wave and the Maokai ult to get 1 member down, and then you get, as you're saying, 2 ults that are hitting basically 4 members each, just is not going to work out in your favor. And there's basically nothing that Touching Grass could do. They're not even going to contest this Baron. That's double big buff on the side of Rivals Gold. They opt not to give Cho'Gath the smite there. He may not need it. He may still have some feast stacks left over to give for regular minions here as he does take the blue buff. And now they're just going to be shoving down. It looks like they're going for a 4-1 split here, which I prefer over a 1-3-1, even in this situation, just because of how chaotic this match has been so far. Ziggs is going to try to do his best, but those turrets are going down so quick. Misfortune with the 3 items on her kit, and she's just demolishing these towers as Aurora is taking this. And now, as we see, Lucifer is actually pushing into the tier 2 on the bot side. Rivals Gold realizes this, and they're just going to take 5 and go into the center here, as we're going to see the Maokai and the Nami ult try to tie people up, but there's no follow through, and Razors for Life just deletes Nami as the ult comes out, taking out B Sin now, and he's going to have to get away with his life. But Razors takes the ult one too many times and gives up his life for it. But Husky getting a 3-man ult onto this MF. The bullet time is doing its work. Nicholas going in on this Wukong, and Lucifer is low. Hamilcar B Sin still up, so they do have the wave clear, but Rivals Gold is trying to end this now.
I have seen a little bit of hiccups from some of these players where they just, it's not overly super comfortable on.
Yeah. Lucifer going in 1v3 with Hamilcar backing him up with the artillery, and he is going to take down the Cho'Gath as we see Nicholas is just a little bit too close. B Sin trying to farm the wave, trying to make sure that these minions don't take the Nexus as they're giving themselves just a little bit of breathing room, but we see that Cloud Soul in action. They are getting away. Hamilcar is going to throw out the ult, but it's not enough to take down the Wukong. Touching Grass with a successful base defense. They do lose 2 inhibitors, but they live to fight another team fight.
I think the 2 inhibitors, as well as the Nexus turrets,
yeah,
was a safe call. All those items respawn now. This is a completely different game than a few years ago, where you'd be sitting going like, okay, well, we only have the inhibs that are going to respawn.
Millikar sitting out, and Razors for Life sees him, and he's going to just delete him. Basically, a 2-shot combo kills him. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, but Aurora smelling bloody, taking him out, and as you were saying.
No, it's one of those things that if they can kind of turtle, but they're definitely not showing that they have figured out how to turtle. Just accept the minions into your base rather than trying to defend these tier 2s and pushing out these waves.
Nicholas by himself is ulting in, but we see Razors for Life over on the top side. They are trying to disengage this. Rubik's McCubix has to ult herself out, and the Maokai disengage comes through as well. And they are trying to push this now. Lucifer in on the back line, but he is 5v1. You're tanky, but you're not that tanky. Sauce getting a pick on the unreportable Lee as the bullet time comes out. B-Sin knocks him up, but not in time. The Maokai dies. B-Sin caught 3v1. Misfortune gets the Nami, and now that is basically it. Himilcar not going to be able to stop this. Game 1 going to the side of Rivals Gold.
I feel like it was just kind of that hole that the side of touching grass just kept on putting themselves into. They didn't do a good job with trying to get into these neutral objectives, gave over way too much in the beginning. Regardless of the kills, they did not have that going for them at all.
Yeah.
It was almost like they were dead in the water before it even had a chance to get to souls, as they got almost every single objective in a row. I think the only one that they gave over was a single Baron to the side of touching grass.
Right. It was the first 5, his first 3 dragons, and the grubs and the Rift Herald going over to the side of Rivals Gold, as you were saying. The early game tempo, even though they clawed back and they made it even and even got a gold lead, and then the Baron, after they got the Baron, they went away from what was working for them and just sort of let Rivals Gold back into the game. And from that point on, Aurora and MF working in tandem. Sauce on this Nautilus was insane, landing almost every hook that he wanted to. Good patience on the side of Rivals Gold. Little hiccup in the mid game, as you were saying, but yeah, touching grass is going to have to go back to the drawing board and actually play to the comp that they draft.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned for game 2. Hopefully, we're going to see something just as exciting as this one. We'll be back soon.
side to side. Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo, I see you. Looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. One time from side to side. own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
All right, and welcome back, everybody, to the IBSG Week 3 matchup between Rivals Gold and Touching Grass. Game 2, Touching Grass losing on the blue side, opting to go over into the red side. And Jim, what do you want to see from Touching Grass to change this around?
A little bit more synergy. There's a lot of times that they had the idea, but then they kind of got too much in their heads where they were like, we got this big gold lead, not realizing that they had just fought back from a gold deficit and that anything can happen to flip it back around. They ended up trading a lot more than they needed to, and just giving over odd kills here and there, a bit more of a contest for these early objectives as well, and having some type of counterplay if they're not going to be able to do it, because it was kind of like they just gave some stuff up for free.
All right, yeah, so a way forward for them. It's not over yet. They still have one, if not two more games left. As we see the bans coming out, Rival Gold on the blue side is going to ban out the Silas, the Mundo, and the Sivir away from Hamilcar, and Touching Grass is going to ban out the Shen, the Braum, and the Zyra. And they're going to leave the Jinx, which is a big contested pick. Both of these ADCs love playing this Jinx, and we've seen this time and time again where the Jinx at 20 minutes just takes over the game, as Touching Grass is going to have Nocturne and Ashe come out as a response. So we're going to see pick one jungle on this Nocturne. I haven't seen this come out yet, as Sauce is going to opt back into the Nautilus, give Jinx a little bit of kill pressure in the lane, or potentially it could go over into the jungle for Nicholas. But the Cho'Gath again over for Rivals Gold again. I guess they liked that pick, and Touching Grass is gonna have an answer here with the K'Sante again. So we will see the K'Sante Cho'Gath matchup again. I thought it went to the side of Lucifer and Touching Grass for the most part in that game. Do you think we're going to see the same thing, or are we going to see a lot more jungle attention paid to the top lane?
Probably not, based off of the Nocturne pickup from Touching Grass. So if it's going to be any jungle presence, it'll be from Rivals Gold that will be looking to kind of gank topside. This Nocturne is going to want to get to that level 6 and then just repeatedly look into this Jinx, and whatever squishy champion ends up in mid lane, where he's going to want to kind of snowball ahead, because right now they do lose this scaling battle again, and they're gonna have to be ahead. If they have a really rough early game like game 1, they could easily just slip down and end up giving over too much, where even when the Nocturne ults in, they're not gonna have enough damage to one-shot something like the Jinx, or even get through the potential peel that Rivals Gold does have right now going for them.
Yeah, they do look like they're going to be trying to protect this Jinx, as we see the Cho'Gath, the Volibear coming out as well. The bans do come out on Touching Grass's side. They do ban out the Ahri and the Veigar over from Razors, and Razors answers with an Azir and a Victor ban, which we saw B-Sin have a lot of success on yesterday, and they're going to round out that Volibear with a Mel in the mid lane. So, very strong champ into the Talia. She will have prio to roam, and we're going to see the support Alistar picked last over onto this Ashe. They are going to try to just isolate and pick off champions as they can. The only two squishies on the side of Rivals Gold are going to be the Mel and the Jinx. Volibear over in the jungle. A lot of peel for this Jinx and a lot of potential to keep her safe and get those resets, but also a ton of dive potential. Every single person on this team can isolate one of those champions. My favorite thing is going to be seeing an Ashe arrow come out and then get knocked back from this Mel. It's one of my favorite things to do on this champ. How are you feeling about these drafts as we're going in?
Not gonna lie, I think Rivals Gold has a significantly stronger draft. They have the front line, they have the scaling in that Mel and the Jinx, as well as the Cho'Gath to kind of infinitely stack with those beasts like last game. I think it was very interesting where they started off and they did a lot of early damage. Talia, I feel like, is not a mid laner that's great in the meta. They might be great at it. It might be a very big comfort pick that will kind of help them get into this. But it was very odd to see that picked and then the support left for the fifth and final counter pick when the support was already picked. I don't think saving and picking Alistar as R5 is kind of the best option, especially when you already see a good chunk of the team. I don't think Alistar's really going to do much in regards to do anything different into the Volibear or the Mel. The Volibear ultimate is something that is unstoppable, so he can just ult as the Alistar tries to go in, and Mel is going to likely be try to stay far enough away where Alistar's going to get rooted before he even is able to make any type of connection.
Okay, so we have one for Rivals Gold. I'm hoping Touching Grass comes back and we get a game 3 out of this. I do kind of agree that the Alistar, although it is a very strong pick into that lane, could have come out a little bit earlier and maybe given something else, but maybe B really wanted the Talia and wanted to showcase his skills on this, as we're going to see the teams get into the Rift. It looks like Rivals Gold is going to try to get a quick jump into this thing, but they are spotted out. They are not spotted out. B Sin steps forward, does not see it. It's going to come out. Volibear with the first kill. Quick and easy. Nicholas on this Volibear, 1-0 already. Unreportedly, I thought could have seen that death bush, but I guess they get out and Sauce starts this game 1-0 on the hooks. No summoners burned, actually on either side, which is good to be held that. You see a lot of panic flashes usually, but they do get the first kill right off the bat. Everybody gets an assist, and Volley takes it away.
I honestly think that's the worst start for Touching Grass could have, is automatically falling down. Volibear's going to have that much more gold for that first blood on the back. Nothing was burnt. It kind of seemed like
stepping up here too. Sorry.
Kind of seemed like I don't know if Nocturne saw it, but Beeson on this Talia needed to back off sooner. Nautilus walked into the bush within vision and then walked out to throw out that hook. They needed to turn a lot earlier and try get behind that wall to stop anything, or at least make them blow something.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if, like, on the replay or the VOD, if they see it and it just wasn't called out or whatever. But yeah, not what you want to see. We're going to see how this Alistar stacks up against this Nautilus here. It is a decent counter pick to the lane. Not sure how it's going to fare in the later parts, as you were saying over earlier in the draft, that it was kind of a weird R5 pick. Is B Sin caught out a little bit by Razors here. Is going to drop the rocks onto the floor, but without her W, can't really trade very well into this pre-level 3. As we see, yeah, Razor's just putting a ton of pressure down on Beast Sin. It's looking like he's going to be going for the kill. There is no ignite on either side here, but Beast Sin is going to have to try to get out of this as Volley is chasing him down. Does get another slow over. He's going to flash over. Flash follows over from Razors for Life. Nocturne is over here waiting and may be able to get a turn on this as Sauce lands a hook onto Hamilcar on this Ashe, and she tries to fire back a little bit as Husky was leaving to go try to help their jungle, and Unreportable Lee is going to have to flash away from this Volibear as well. That's 2 kills over to the side of Rivals Gold, and this is just like the last game. Alistar opting in to go into the sausage. Oh, good flash by Hamilcar. Unfortunate you have to use that, but you do have to use that. Now Flashless is going to be the target of the Volibears. The Jinx Slow comes down to flash, and the stun comes up on top of it. Alistar doing his best to peel, and Hamilcar just barely dies. That is the feats in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Another quick 3 kills, just like last game. This game starting out just as bad, if not worse, for the side of Touching Grass.
You could see there in that fight, Sauce, who ended up getting that kill onto the Ashe, was trying to give it over.
Sauce coming back in, good. Take a couple turret shots. The ignite comes down, but it's not going to be enough. Does make him back there. These guys just want to scrap all day.
No, they're definitely a bit bloodthirsty for the side of Rivals Gold. I think they're feeling a little bit more confident in this early start as they have been playing a bit more aggressive. I think with the losses that you had talked about previously coming in the past few weeks, that they didn't really have the chance to kind of keep their mind in it, where if the game 1 went over Touching Grass, I think this game would have been a much different game, where it would be kind of testing how Rivals Gold mental is after losing 2 weeks in a row, followed up by losing a game 1 of it the third week.
Yeah, and as we see again, the early roams coming out of Sauce after getting Jinx a little bit ahead with the 2 assists and the CS lead, is opting for the early roams again. Alistar is down there with the Ashe, but just getting a little bit of deep wards. Alistar is going to stay ahead on experience here. Opting for those early roams again after it almost cost them the game last time. I kind of wanted to see something different out of him. Maybe get Husky to just keep pressuring on this bot side, but going over for it. Looks like they are trying to set up potentially for the Grubs as the first objective, and then transition that over to Dragon second if they can. Touching Grass is sitting there. Sauce is looking for this as the headbutt or the ground slap doesn't come connect to anything there. I think he was thinking Sauce was going to throw the hook, and the patient hook gets out the Q from the Alistar. As now Razors for Life and Beast Sin fighting again here in the mid lane. It is going to get Razors knocked up on the smell over, but just about half of the health bar down as Nocturne is waiting in the wings. Level 5, not level 6 yet, but is going to wait for Mel to try to overstep here as the bot lane is fighting again. Sauce getting ready to throw this hook. He wants it. The Jinx Zap doesn't connect, and they're just going to get a little bit of pressure and then go and take care of some of this vision if they can. This Tri-Brush is the most contested objective in IBSG completely every single time. They're just going to trade the vision for a little bit of hits there.
Oh, interesting enough, the Volibear is kind of offsetting their tempo a bit, choosing to back and say, hey, I want these Void Grubs, and going back to almost an empty jungle topside just to get that blue buff and then look over. So they are a bit behind with skipping that Rugs camp down on the bot side.
Yeah, and it looks like Sauce is going to back here and try to roam up to the grubs. He does see that the Volley and the Nocturne are sort of skirmishing over this. Nocturne is level 6 and may be able to use it to get out, but Volley is just closing down on him as we see the Chomp coming out. Lucifer is transferring over here as the E comes out from the Volibear, does get the Chomp, and that is just a free kill over here. The ult by B-Sin is used to get out of here. We see the Jinx Rocket come up. It's going to land empty-handed as Decipher gets the Chomp over onto the Talia, and Lucifer is now stuck 3v1 against Razors for Life, just doing Mel things. She does flash away and gets the kill. That is a 3-0 and the grubs for the side of Rivals Gold. What is Nocturne doing there, and why is he just sort of hovering around there?
I think it kind of coincides with the issue behind the Volibear pathing. The path did unusual pathing. Normally, Volibear at that time, especially with starting on different
Oh, so we're going to
sides,
see a dive coming in, the Ashe ult, the Nocturne ult, and the knockup from Rubik's McCubics onto this Jinx. They do get the kill. Not a shutdown, but are going to get a couple plates, and it is a play back onto the other side here for the side of Touching Grass. And instead of transitioning this over to the Dragon, they're going to try to get 2 plates, maybe 3 for Hamilcar on this Ashe. As we see now, unreportedly on the Nocturne is coming up, but that is a lot spent just to kill the Jinx. As Alistar is coming in over onto the Mel, is going to get the knockup, is going to follow him over for the stun, but we see Volley waiting in the wings over here. As the knockup comes over onto Razors for Life, B-Sin has to flash away from the Volley. Rubik's McCubics is stuck here. Meanwhile, unreportedly is fighting this Nocturne, is fighting this Nautilus, and the Jinx Rocket comes through, is going to miss again. Another field goal for Husky on this Jinx as Nicholas is going to flash forward, get the chomp down, the flash away from Rubik's McCubics, and B-Sin is going to lock him up, but he's going to take Nocturne down with him before he dies. Mel gets that kill, and it is a 2-for-1 over on the side of Touching Grass, and Sauce is going to try to get another hook over here. It looks like they're going to try to continue this fight as Lucifer and Decipher are fighting again on this Cassante, and the Cho'Gath is getting his knockups, getting silence. Lucifer is trying to fight and scrap, does like to be in the face here of the Cho'Gath, as the side of Rivals Gold is prepping for this Dragon as Volley's coming, and he's going straight to it. Another small advantage gained on the side of Rivals Gold.
and it was a shutdown onto this Talia to try to get her back in the game, but she is so far behind, especially with this build path.
As we see Cassandre having the ult just to get away from Decipher, taking a bad trade here, is going to have to back and maybe get some items here before he's going to be able to contest this. As the bot lane goes back, Volley is clearing his jungle. Nocturne on the top side when the Dragon is up. Are they just conceding this, or is this a misplay?
I think this is a concede. It's one of those things that they are in a sizable hole. The Mel is going to come back. The Talia wasn't in a spot to really contest. And Ashe and Braum do have that capability, but it's one of those things where the pathing change up from this Volibear is
You see the flash coming out of Lucifer to get away from the Cho'Gath here is unreportedly on this Nocturne. He's going to flash in. Decipher is going to try to turn this and get a chomp down. He does get the knockup, but unreportedly does kill him on this Nocturne before he can do anything. His Sauce is trying to look for another fight over here on the bot side. He can't get an angle onto the Ashe. We do know the Ashe arrow is down because she threw it over into the Dragon Pit, and B-Sin and Razors for Life are just constantly fighting over here on this mid lane. It does look like a lot of preparation for no follow through so far. We do see that the Nautilus has finally hit level 6. Both ults are up for the side of Rivals Gold, but they're gonna opt not to pull the trigger. Oh, as I say that, finally you get one of those to hit, and now Nicholas is coming out from the backside here as B-Sin is going to try to defend himself here. The E coming out from Mel is going to miss wide, and Rubik's Cube coming up to try to save his mid laner here. Volibear is going to ult in. He does get knocked back. Oh, Alistar knocks him back there, but he is going to get a stun over onto Sauce here, and this may end up being a 2-for-2. Never mind, as Hamilcar is coming down, and they're going to try to put some 2v2 pressure over here onto Rivals Gold mid and support. Unreportedly is checking. He's going to see it. Sauce is going to try to go in. They're going to try to make this a 2-for-2 a 1v2 here now as Razors for Life does get the W off, is going to get a little bit more, does not have the ult to press the kill switch, and Hamilcar on this Ashe gets a shutdown on the Mel. Big overstep on the side of Rivals Gold.
But we're still seeing Jinx, who's not an early carry, getting 3 solo plates in return for that shutdown for the Ashe. So Jinx not getting the worst end of it. It was a lot given over by the side of Rivals Gold, as the gold lead does get to 900 health. But I think it's just kind of one of those things that Rivals Gold are kind of feeling overconfident now, with that really good start. No, and seeing that they already have the potential for the quick 3 neutral objectives into those feat upgrades.
Right. Yeah, as we see, Volibear looked like he was overstepping a little bit, but Ravizers on this Mel is sitting there with him, trying to scrap, trying to get this Talia down a little bit. His Sauce has roamed once again on this Nautilus, just barely misses that hook. That might have been a dead Talia and nothing to do about it if he lands that. Little bit of scrap in the middle. The Ashe Arrow is going to come out. It's going to go wide left onto the Mel. Just a little bit of a miss there. As we see the Mel has completed her Malignance now up against the Boots of Lucidity and a Lost Chapter and part of a tier for Beeson on this Talia. So she is a little bit behind here as top lane is going to try to fight again. We see Cassante going in onto the Cho'Gath here, is going to pull out the ult here, but Volibear showing up just in the nick of time. And they're going to try to take him down here. Lucifer just gets chomped right at the last second. Almost got to turn that into a 1-for-1. Good solid play from Lucifer on the Cassante to do his best, but when you die like that, it's just unfortunate and you get nothing out of it no matter how well you play. As we see now, we see the Jinx Rocket come in. Volibear is going to try to come in. The Nocturne ult comes out with the Mel W down, and they are doing everything they can to protect here. Hamilcar on this Ashe is getting a lot of damage down from the backside on here as Husky shows up, turning this into a 4v4. Good play by Touching Grass to try to just pull the trigger onto something. Almost get it. They are going to get the mid prio here, and with the Dragon coming up in a minute, Rivals Gold is forced to back here, lick their wounds, and reset, and then try to push for this objective. Does look like Touching Grass is going to try to keep this pressure up and put it onto the mid wave, but we see Razors for Life coming in with the teleport on the flank onto that, and does pull out the W a little bit too quick. Hamilcar able to get the Enchanted Crystal arrow off, but unreportedly on this Nocturne, a little bit too close onto the side. We see the first reset coming over from the Jinx. She's excited. She's coming down. The ult is on the Alistar, but now it's run its course. We get a double kill onto the Talia. Here's a triple kill for the Jinx, and she is firing on all cylinders. Mid-game, Rivals Gold just takes it away from Touching Grass.
We did see the kind of confusion that did occur for Touching Grass that fight. Nocturne showing up below half health after securing that Scuttle Crab in that bot river for the Drake. They should have just been calling everybody just back up. If the Alistar dies, okay, but get as many carries out of here as possible and try not to give over too much. Instead, they gave over
mid tower,
Drake, and was it 3 or 4 kills?
It was 3 kills for the Jinx. I think 4 overall. Hamilcar was it was a 3v4, so or a 4v5. Because Decipher just teleported to the top lane, so it was 3. Hamilcar was the only one to get out of there on the Ashes. Lucifer is fighting this Cho'Gath, and the Nocturne ult is going to come out. They are going to get the fear onto him. Is there going to be a turnaround kill from the turret? No, they are going to get that kill. They are going to get the top turret, so they're taking a little bit back here. We see, the Ashe. Jinx Rocket coming through, almost taking Nocturne out. His W was available, but he probably just didn't see it in time. As now Sauce lands the hook onto the Alistar. He's just going to headbutt him away. Husky is waiting in the wings, but he's not going to be able to close the distance as Talia and Mel have opted to move over into the bot lane. And so now we see the lane swap coming over. The The support and ADC are both mid. We have both teleports are down, but Talia does have the wall to ride if they want to pull the trigger on this rift and collapse.
I think right now the better option for the side of touching grass would be to look for this meltdown bot side again. Try to get that caught out, but she's
yeah, I think that was it was the Ashe ult, and she just reflected it back. They did try to make that play happen though.
They didn't send enough though. They needed to overload bot side, not just send the 2 squishies to try to deal with the Fed Mel. Send the Alistar, send the Nocturne as well, and just get onto this carry and get something back in return to giving up this objective. Because right now, the only thing that they have really that they can say for themselves is that top tier one.
Yeah, the objectives swing again. The neutral objectives are 4-0 for the side of Rivals Gold, and Nicholas on this Volibear does step up a little bit too close, but so does Ashe. As 3 people get caught up in the root from this Mel. The only person still alive is Rubik's on this Alistar. Talia trying to do what she can to set the damage back, and Sauce throwing out a hook actually misses a hook, which is rare for him this series, as they are now just taking this out. Lucifer is slow to pull the trigger to come back. He's still sitting over in the top lane, but he does finally hit the back button. He is going to recall, as Shelly's going to take a huge chunk out of this mid turret. Tier 3 turret is going down. The inhibitor is about to follow, and Volibear is taking this for a ride. He's going to get another hit. Oh no, he actually misses, but does get the stun down there. But the shutdown going for Talia over onto this Volibear, a little bit too aggressive as the team fight keeps going down. Lucifer smelling blood onto Husky here, but Husky's going to get out. Him and Mel are both sitting in the back. The Jinx Rocket comes out. It's not going to be enough. Sauce is going to give up his life to get the 2 carries out of there for free. A little overzealous on the side of Rivals Gold.
I think I don't think it was noticed, but there was a bit of a misplay there by the Nocturne. I think the score lines get into the head. Doesn't matter. You are the engage for the team at this point. Your main goal is to ult in onto the 2 carries and hit that stride breaker that you built for yourself. I think that could have been a clean ace there. If Nocturne, after engaging, kind of backstepped and second guessed themselves, if they kept going and stayed onto that Mel, stayed onto that Jinx, I think that would have been an ace there, and they would have had a moment of relief, possibly to push out these waves, get a second turret for themselves, get something going in their pockets rather than just those 3 kills. One that was almost gift wrapped for them with the Volibear trying to be a little bit too fancy on the Rift Herald, saying, I'm going to try knocking this person up while hitting the turret and missing the turret, and just...
And pretty much the player, too.
Yeah, getting stuck underneath a Nexus turret is not fun when you're alone. And
yeah, it would have actually been nice to see the Volley take that to the tier 2. It's also going to miss the turret shot. Husky going to get a couple of hits off. It does look like he wants to follow up, but Hamilcar on this Ashe just throws out the Enchanted Crystal Hour to stop that from coming. It almost seemed... another point, too, is that Lucifer on this Cassante was like really close to them, too. So that could have been a 5-0 instead of a 3-0. Still, you take the 3-0 when nothing is going your way. With the Ashe ult down, this is probably just going to be a free Baron, followed more than likely with a free Otacon, as Nocturne is hovering Cassante on this top side with both of the main objectives open, as Rivals Gold just takes the dragon first, and now they're going to turn their attention over to this Otacon. The lanes are pushed out. Mid and bot lane are both shoving on their own, and this might be a free Otacon as well, as Sauce is just sitting there trying to make sure that Nocturne can't get in here. We do have a Scrying Orb on the side of Ashe, but she is so far away from this place, she can't even get it there, so you can't get a Nocturne ult into a steal here. It's just 2 free objectives.
One of those things that I'm looking at it right now. Touching Grass needs to contest something. This entire game, it's been one of those things that they tried they got caught out on that early invade, and then they just kind of continued to give over and over. At what point do you do something about giving over these objectives as they're now down 5-0?
6 if you
on
count the
these
grubs.
defense.
Yeah, it's oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah, because you have Otacon, so yeah,
This
Lucifer's
is
overstepping here as
a
well.
good thought, but this should have been done much earlier for this attempt onto the Cassante.
Yeah, Lucifer is getting out with this, is trying to keep it going, but now Nicholas is going to get that down. The hook coming out from Sauce on this. The Jinx rocket goes wide, but it's not really going to matter. As Rubik's McCubix goes in onto the Jinx, but there's no follow-up from the Ashe. And now with the red buff and the zap, it does look like they're going to try to take this fight here. This could be the last scrap of the game, as Rubik's is going to use the headbutt from Alistar to try to get away from this volley. Hits the ult a little bit too late. Sauce flashing forward, gets the Nautilus hook landed, and Ashe gets out with her life, and Talia is maybe going to get this tier 1 bot tower, but it looks like now Rivals Gold is going to transition over to the tier 2 in the top, as the inhibitor is about to respawn soon for the side of Touching Grass. I think that is the last super minion coming through, and now they're turning their attention over to this top side. They're going to try to pop 2 inhibitors at once here. Nicholas with a little bit of emoting, and now it is a fight is starting out as the Nocturnal ult is going to come through. Is he going to take it? He is. Getting onto Sauce onto this Nautilus does get the kill, but the 2 carries are being protected from the side, on the side of Rivals Gold, as they're chasing down this Cho'Gath. Hamilcar doing so much damage, but just not enough. Nicholas is going to stun him and then try to flash out. Unreportedly getting on top of him. The Talia ult's going to come out, and now we're seeing this 3 for nothing. Again, Rivals Gold just sitting in the base. The Volibear is sort of dancing and showcasing. Are they just having fun with this and just trying to prolong this game, or is that a genuine misplay?
I think that was a genuine misplay. I think they are getting in a bit of their heads. They don't want to throw this game, knowing that it was a lot of back and forth.
See the attention turned on. Yeah, as we see the attention turned on to this Baron, all 5 members are going to be here. They do see Lucifer moving over to it, but I'm not sure if there's anything that they can do. The Jinx rocket is down. It probably won't be up, and this should be a free Baron from Touching Grass, and it's just going to give them a little bit extra that they need. They're not even going to get a fight turn after this, as the quick enhanced Baron recalls coming through. Touching Grass breathing a little bit more life. And we've seen what happens when the team gets a chance to play from front to back. The damage from the Jinx and the Mel was not enough to take down Cassante and Alistar with his ult. Is this a turning point, or is this just they messed up and now it's time to refocus and let's go end this?
I think it's one of those, they messed up. Volibear tanking 3 or 4 turret shots there. It kind of seals the team fight when one of your front line is already almost dead before the fight even starts, and then the other one gets chunked down to almost dead, trying to get the first one out of the fight, where it was just the Cho'Gath that was still healthy to frontline and heal for these 2 carries.
Yeah, so as we do see, it does look like Rivals Gold is going to try to pull the trigger on this, but Nocturne getting into the backline on top of the Jinx. They are going to get the kill onto this. Meanwhile, Decipher on the Cho'Gath is trying to take out the 2 carries on the side of Touching Grass, and now it is just Mel versus the 2 tanks, and she is winning this. The Enchanted Crystal Hour does come out from Ashe. I am getting a little bit of a buffer here, and now Hamilcar jumped on by the Volibear, and without Cassante there to play the line, Touching Grass are just left basically on their own, but B-Sin is doing enough to keep the damage up. They still have the Baron buff on 2 of their members, and now this is going to be a reset here, but it is going to be a free dragon on the side of Rivals Gold, they're gonna get the soul again. This is a Hextech soul, more slows, a little bit more damage, and they're gonna be able to really get onto this backline even easier now.
Oh, and that's one of those things that you definitely don't want to give over to a Jinx. Yeah, you got the Jinx this past time, but it still wasn't enough. As we saw the Mel just sit over the wall and start off with the root, and then just quickly go into
Mm-hmm.
the damage to shred through the engage of that Alistar and the Nocturne before coming to the aid of the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, and we
Who
saw
was just
this in game 1 too, where Lucifer is sitting there, and if he's going to be pressing out and he's going to be split pushing, you're going to be doing a 4-1. You can't have your two immobile champions just sitting in the mid lane that far away from your base. They didn't learn from game 1. Hopefully, maybe now they will. That they have to sit back. As we're going to see the Nocturne and the Ash Ult, they're going to collapse onto this Volibear. Nicholas going down on the volley quickly, and Touching Grass smelling a little bit of momentum. They're going to be pushing down this mid lane now. After getting the tier 2 top, Lucifer is hovering over here as well. Looks like he's going to be joining them. Nocturne going back to farm his jungle a little bit, try to get a little bit stronger here. And now it's going to be up to Razors for Life to just sort of wave clear here with her 2 tanks by her side, as Cho'Gath is going to feast on that. Not sure how many more minions he gets to feast on, but Touching Grass, finding a pick, doing what they're supposed to. Okay, 5. So he has one more minion to play with here. Not like last game where he was like at 3 minions when he had 3 neutral and champion objectives. So not as many opportunities for him to capitalize on the ult onto actual people this time. But yeah, Touching Grass finding another pick here. Is this a way for them back in the game, or at what point do rivals just say, okay, like if you're rivals, what point do you just say, okay, we're going in as 5, we're going to win this?
I think they can start to look into this as we can go into 5 once they start grouping together. Because there's odd features. This volley split pushing away from the team. It's not really the call here, as the rest of the group is kind of just grouping together, maybe looking to shove down mid a bit. There's no neutrals up until for about another 60 seconds. So
Yeah.
it is likely going to be them just resetting, getting the golds, trying to get the items on to everybody so that they can look a bit further.
Chad is unhinged this game. And we do notice that something that I did notice too is that this Volibear has opted into the Ravenous Death Stance. He's not tanky. He does have sustain, but it's not one of the normal either AP or tank builds that we see from most Volibears here. He does have sustain, but if he gets jumped on, like we just saw, he dies super quick. As you see now, the teams are sort of getting ready. Elder Dragon is up in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but the Baron is what they have their sights set on here in 20 seconds. So Nicholas getting into the backline here on the volley, coming along with Sauce, are going to find the Alistar and the Nautilus, but Alistar just going to pulverize, get up, and Razors for Life has found Hamilcar here on this Ash, and the ult is going to come out, but Husky gets the shutdown as Nocturne getting into the backline, does force the flash out of the Jinx, might get the kill onto the Mel, does, and is going after but the Guardian Angel is going to save him for now. Meanwhile, Touching Grass is trying to chase around this Volibear. Beeson and the 2 tanks are going after him. Husky staying safe, Sauce providing the peel. It is now a 4v3, but Sauce is going to get picked up by the K'Sante ult and moved into the back. K'Sante is trying to get on top of him, but the absolute monster peel from the side of Rivals Gold, keeping Jinx so safe that it just able to free fire into the backline, and this might be the last fight.
That should definitely be it. That was almost a masterclass of peel for that Jinx. Nocturne did absolutely everything that he could to get both the Jinx and the Mel. Got the Mel, but the of in, side of Rivals, interesting enough, did not decide to push further,
I
and
think they were
instead
worried about the Ash coming up. I guess I don't know. Um,
Ash
yeah,
was gonna be up, but
interesting.
you would have had Mel teleport in um
Yeah, they are
to
getting vision. The
help out.
Nocturne ult is coming in. He is going to try to go in here and steal this. The Ash ult does come out, but the Cho'Gath is going to take the chomp. And Nocturne not opting to go in for the hero steal. Probably the right play, because even if you do get in there, it's a 50-50, probably even 40-60 on your end, that you're going to be able to beat the Cho'Gath. And so opts not to take it. The ult is down. The Ash Enchanted Crystal Arrow is down, but it is tier 3 now, so she's going to have a low cooldown. Rivals Gold getting another neutral objective. That is now, what, 8 in a row for them? Nautilus taking this over here. Oh, Alistair misses the pulverize and is knocked over onto the wrong side of the river here. He does get the ult out, and it looks like Cho'Gath is going to try to peel over here. Alistair's still alive with the ult, but it's about to die down now. Nocturne dies just as quickly. Lucifer on this K'Sante is going after here. Hamilcar with the crystal arrow coming out. They are getting damage down, but now Sauce is in the face of this Ash, and they are going to clean this up. It is going to be a 1-for-5 ace, and that is definitely going to be the end of this series as Rivals Gold takes out Touching Grass. And in this second game, there was no doubt who was in control.
No, definitely felt a lot more one-sided than game one. This early losses for the side of Touching Grass kind of made it feel inevitable, as the scaling aspects for Rivals Gold just got ahead so quickly, where they were able to stay ahead. Both of them coming to a total of 5 deaths, which was just what the Ash had for Touching Grass. So it is something that was just kind of set up in the eyes for Rivals Gold to kind of take the game and take the lead away.
Yeah, getting to
straight
play
from
with
the start.
getting to play with basically two different kind of comps there, and both of them going their way. Sort of a get right after losing the last 2 weeks. So they do take care of Touching Grass. Unfortunately, Touching Grass now goes to 0-4 on the season. They have one win to their name, but no series wins, and that is going to be it for tonight. Congratulations to Rivals Gold. They go to 2-2 on the season with a clean 2-0 up against Touching Grass. Um, thank you everybody for coming in and hanging out with us and watching this series. Big props to RG and good try to Touching Grass. And this has been Fell alongside of Jim. And thank you, Loki, for the production. Appreciate you guys. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Labor Day.
Since you left me, nothing has been the same. There's no time for regret, but I snow.